and I am so excited to give the floor over to him. This is going to be a great presentation.
Don't build me up too much here. Let me get my video fixed here. Um, yeah, don't build this up too much. Let me get this weird stuff off of here. There we go. Now, I think you can see me better now. And so, yeah, I have a whole new set of responsibilities. So I got behind on production, and we'll kind of go through this. So, for just real quickly, for those that don't know, I have been doing weather professionally for 47 years, which means I'm old as dirt, but I'm very energized. I'm strong as an ox physically and mentally, and I'm just getting started. And it is my goal to help build a new model for those that want to do what I've done for 47 years. Most of my career has been doing traditional broadcast Ron Burgundy meteorology. And those days have passed us by. So we'll talk about that. But real quick, I just wanted to go through a few little notes that might help you to be successful. I would assume that most of you are students here. I love speaking to college students. I was at Mississippi State here recently, and let me just say that I love your generation. But I wanted to go through a very quick look at what I do in a normal day. It's Most people in the public, they think we don't do anything. They think we yak away for a couple minutes, and we're paid to get it wrong 90% of the time, and you know how that is. So anyway, we're going to go through this stuff today. um, by the way, if you don't like my presentation, I have my switch ready to go. Okay. I have received more threats, personal threats on my life in the last 2 years that I have received in all 47 years. And it comes from the chemtrail action team. They are very violent. I would just be careful with these people. We live in a very strange world these days. But having said that, my day begins at 4 o'clock. And let me just say this: when I interview candidates for a job, and I might interview one of you one day, um, the qualities I work for, one of the I'm looking for three key qualities, and one of them it's work ethic. And again, I think your generation is much better than mine at this. But one secret about me: I'm not good at anything I do. I'm not good at anything I do. Synoptic, radar, satellite. I'm not that good. But let me tell you something: I'll work harder than anybody else on this call to accomplish a goal. And that work ethic has carried me a long way in life. So I don't sleep much. I sleep from 1 to 4 a.m. And I always ask people, how many hours of sleep is that? The right answer is not enough. But in the morning, I come into this room at my home, which is my home office, and I basically work a 3 hour morning shift at home. In the morning, I do weather on 28 commercial radio stations around the country. I do products for our new statewide network that we're building, video products out of here. But before I do any of that, I do forecasting and analysis. I get in there at 4 o'clock because I need 30 minutes to look at stuff. I've got to have some time for analytical thinking and figure out what the weather's going to do. And by the way, just let me say this: the first thing you need to be looking at if you're doing forecasting and analysis, it's an upper air sounding, the closest sounding to where you are. That's a treasure trove. What you see right there, that's gold. That tells you the state of the atmosphere as it is now. And you've got to start with that. But again, I just go through a lot of maps and model output and put together a forecast, and then we start to distribute that. And let me say one thing, too. One of the things I do, I write. And I really regret this. I did not take any writing classes in college. And so much of what I do now involves writing, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a blog post. In the blog products, I write a meteorological discussion. And I really sometimes feel like I write like a third grader, which is not good. And let me say, too, I'm very dyslexic. Nobody knew what that was when I was coming up. I don't read well, and I don't write well. My thing is math. When I was in high school, I was reading on first grade level and doing differentials in 10th grade. But I wish I was better at writing, and you need that skill set. You've got to be able to communicate. But again, it's a very busy shift. I do one traditional television hit on, and I still work part time for a TV station here and do all the radio and the blog post and the social media. But when that's over, about 7 o'clock, I head out every single day in my trusty Forerunner. How many miles do you think this thing has on it? At at last count, about 430,000 miles. Uh, I speak somewhere every single day. Uh, every day I hit the road, and let me just say this. By the way, this is not current. That's like a year old. It was 406,000. Um, but I'm in a school every day, and to be successful in any given market when it comes to weather forecasting, dissemination of critical severe weather information, you have to understand the people, the culture, the geography, and the microclimates. And if you don't, you will not be successful. You can't sit in a weather office all day and look at maps and do synoptic stuff, and that's great. That's what we do. But you've got to get out and talk with the people that you serve. The first thing I do, and I forget what I told you guys the first time I talked with you, but for those that intern with me, the first place I take them, it's a Walmart in a working class part of the city to watch them engage with people. And if you cannot engage with people in that Walmart, then you will not be successful. Most of the people you serve, they don't look like you. They don't think like you. They don't have the same education you have. They don't vote like you. They don't have the same worldview. And we're here in this polarized landscape. We have to serve everybody. But having said that, to me, doing the school programs has been an incredible advantage for me. I've been doing this 47 years. I know every road. I know every back road. I know every barbecue joint. I know every bit of geography in this state from speaking to these school kids. And when you speak to the school kids, it's a win-win. I mean, how could you go wrong here? You get kids excited about science. You talk with people. You learn things from them, and it's just a joy. What's really amazing. I'll talk with some meteorologist, and they'll say, "Well, I did a school visit last month." I said, "So you did one in 1 month?" I do 2 to 3 a day. I don't understand that. And I think for a lot of older people my age, it's pure laziness. That's it. But it's important to me. But again, this was, I'm trying to look, this is a school in Madison, Alabama, which is near Huntsville. After that, I go back down the road, hit another school. This is in Cullman, Alabama. And, these kids will never forget this. And I've been doing it so long, I do believe I'm starting to work on my third generation. And I still have people that will come to me and say, "I remember you from fifth grade in 1980," which is crazy, but it makes a really big impact. That's a list of some of the stops I had in this 1 week across my state. And again, I'm in Alabama. And the boundaries have gone away, and we're building a new statewide operation. So we have 67 counties here. But I just want to say that that's absolutely critical. So after the 2 school visits, the one thing that I do, I take the time to work on my physical health, and I ignored it for a long time. And I thought I was physically dying about 15 years ago, had no energy, felt horrible. Diet was bad, no exercise, and I knew that I wasn't going to live long. And so going to the gym, and I do it 3 days a week, and this is pure CrossFit. And at my age, it's not easy, but I'm strong as an ox. I back squatted 200 pounds the other day. I feel better now than I felt when I was your age. But when you're in good physical condition, you're in good mental condition. Your cognition is strong. And when you're communicating weather information about a tornado that's down, this is something that can kill somebody. You better be at the sharpest possible on the mental side. And for that to be the case, you've got to be in good physical condition. And I've really worked on that. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm strong, and that has helped me tremendous. And you've got to be disciplined. You got to do that. But even if you're young, I don't care if you're 18 or 15 or 22. That's important. So after that, I will go into our new business that we have started. The business that we've started is called the Alabama Weather Network. And Listen, I I'll shoot straight with you guys. What I have done for 47 years, it's dead. The traditional Ron Burgundy television newscast. Good evening. Here's the news. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit. Nobody your age uses the products and services, and quite frankly, most people my age don't. The people that are left watching these things, they're in their 80s and 90s, and somebody had to do something. I cannot, in good faith, leave you guys a dumpster fire. It's been an amazing career, but something's got to change. We've got to change this. And what we have to do is take what the YouTubers are doing and understand here in this country, when there's a big national weather event, who has the most audience nationally? It's not the Weather Channel, it's not Fox Weather, it's Ryan Hall or Max Velocity YouTubers. And a lot of old school television weather people like me, they get their back arched and talk bad about these guys. Well, here's an idea. Maybe we should learn something from them. We had a remarkable event at the National Weather Association annual meeting in Huntsville, Alabama, a couple of months ago, back in September. We brought in Ryan Hall and Max Velocity, me, some emergency managers, a couple of social scientists, and we started to have a national integrated warning team meeting. Instead of hating each other, how about we learn to get along? We learn who we are and what we do because we're all trying to accomplish the same purpose. And I thought it was very, very, very productive. But having said all that, we're building this new opera, and this is our Studio A, which is an amazing place. I just, it is a joy to be able to go into Studio A every day, or B, which is where I do a lot of the radio work and some other things, and do what I do. But I have to crank out all kind of products and services. This is a 24/7 stream. And of course, we're live anytime the weather is active. But we feed that 24/7 stream with products that we produce all the time. So but it's a joy. And again, that's one of the reasons I was late, because I got behind on producing some of the products. But we have working for us now 6 meteorologists. We have a team of 4 chasers, and they're contract chasers. More if we need them. We have a total of about 50 cameras statewide, fixed cameras. We have multiple drone operators. You have to be visually interesting to be successful, like the YouTubers. That's why they're so successful. It's visually interesting. Old school weather people, they stand in front of radar for 8 hours with nothing to support what they're showing on radar. It's boring. And I think what we're building, it's really going to work out well. It's the best of what I've done for 47 years and the best of what the YouTubers are doing. But I do a lot of products and services for the network, and I still do old school television. I'm still on the air at 5 and 6 o'clock, but I'm not in that room. This is the ABC studio in Birmingham. I'm at the Alabama Weather Network studio. I have not been in this building since August. So after doing all these products and services, more radio weather, more blog discussions, and typically in the evening I'll take a break, and this is where I'll go home and see my family. But the one thing that never stops, it's social media. And I'm not here to talk about social media on this call, but I will say it is critical. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. It's got its positives and negatives, and these are old numbers, by the way. It's stunning to me how much reach that I have over there, but you got to use it responsibly. And by the way, again, if you apply for a job with me, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to track you down. I will find you on social media, and you can run, but you can't hide. I'm good. You can make your accounts private. I'll find what you've done. And for a lot of the candidates, immediately within 30 seconds, they'll never work for me. The biggest problem I see, especially among, I don't know, I guess it's across all demographics, it's all about me. I had a candidate, I looked at his Instagram feed, 99 of the last 100 posts were pictures of that candidate. In a selfie every once in a while, that's fine. We all do that. We have to self-promote. I understand that. But it was clear that this person thought that person was really special, more special than anybody else. And I want you to look at me and think about me, and it's all about me. It's not about you. It's about serving the people, the masses. You have to attack this job with a servant's heart. And I can track down your social media feeds real quick and learn a lot about you. And the other problem we have also today is this horribly politically polarized atmosphere. And I can't stand politics. I don't like any of it. But there's a lot of political rhetoric. And when you are a public servant, you kind of give up some rights. And if you post political rhetoric, you're going to lose half your audience. And we're here to serve everybody. And if you feel that strongly about politics, that's great, but get into politics and run for office or work for somebody. So, but again, I have to keep up with this. It's while we're talking on this call, and again, I'll talk here for 20 or 30 minutes, I will have probably 100 messages that have come in across these platforms that require an answer, and I answer everybody. If they send me a picture, a video, I'm honored. Tuesday night of this week, I had 12,000 images in one night. One night, 12,000 images during the geomagnetic storm. By the way, that's my family, and I'll just say this: make some priorities. We raised two boys. Of course, they're grown. My wife and I, we've been married for 44 years. And I'm not telling you what your priorities need to be, but you need to write it down. And as you get really busy, don't lose track of your priorities. Um, but I want really quickly, a couple things. That's a normal day. And again, I work about 4 a.m. to midnight. And it's a joy. Listen, let me just say this. My wish for everybody on this call, my wish for you is this. My wish is that you wake up every morning and love what you do. You cannot wait to wake up and do what you do. I've had that for 47 years. I can't tell you how blessed I am. And that's my wish for you. When you are like that, you'll never work a day in your life. And I've been able to do weather. It's my passion in life, and they pay me to do this. But so on a normal day, it's long, but on these days, it's critical. I'm going to do one quick case study, and again, I'm not going to keep you guys long. I want to go back, and this is March. Okay, this is this year. Okay. This was an event back on March the 15th of this year. And this was a high risk day. This is on a Saturday, by the way. And hey, weather happens on Saturdays and Sundays. Weather happens at 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Weather happens often when it's not convenient for you. You have to be there for the people that you serve. You have to be there, and that's going to mean a sacrifice for you. You're going to give up some things that you would be doing to serve the people, but if you're consistently serving them and if you're always there, they will latch onto you and you'll be successful. So we had a high risk day. For me, it started at 2 a.m. This was the first tornado warning of the day of the event. This was at 2:49 a.m. By the way, that's not p.m., that's a.m. And again, this was a tornadic storm that was in Monroe County, Mississippi, about to cross over into my territory, which is West Alabama. This is 4:09, and the morning round was mostly severe thunderstorm warnings. But again, in a situation like this, you just have to be there for them. And if you're not there, trust me, they will find somebody else. But the one advantage that we have doing what I do, and again, right now, my domain, it's the state. I've got 67 counties. I don't do weather for any other place in the world. I know this state better than anybody. I know the roads. I know the people. I've been there. I can close my eyes. I can see it. That's an incredible advantage that nobody else has. And you need to stake out your territory. But about this time, it was kind of winding down, about 5:36, and soon after that, I went live and did all the social media things. Then the second round started about 1:30 in the afternoon. This is the first tornado warning of the afternoon, and that's 4:35. And we had a series of pretty rough tornadoes. I want to say that day we had about 20. You can see the power flashes here. This was a tornado that was in Walker County. And let me just say this. People don't know how to read maps. People do not have map skill because of phones. And I'm not blaming them. But we have to do better when it comes to geography. You have to understand geography to do this job successfully, and you got to be able to call out landmarks that people understand. If you say there's a tornado 14 miles southwest of Summerton, nobody knows where that is, even if they live there. But if you say that it's near Jim's Pit Barbecue, or if it's near Jim Bird's farm, they know where that is. And you've got to use landmarks in a situation like this. But this, we did have loss of life, I should mention, on this day. This is a tornado that came through a small town called Gordo. And the truth is, I don't care if you live in a rural area or a city, I don't care. Your life is important. In so many of these TV stations, oh, they'll be on the air live, local, and late breaking. If you know there's a tornado in the metro, the minute it goes out in the country, they go back to Freak of the Week or whatever is on TV that nobody watches. But we'll take care of everybody. And again, thankfully, in this particular tornado, we did not have loss of life. One person survived in that particular room. This was that night. There's a debris ball, TDS tornado debris signature, and Mr. Fain lost his life here. Mr. Fain lived in a mobile home, and this is one of my biggest challenges. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's people that live in trailers, mobile homes, and you cannot stay in a mobile home. It's a death trap. And I don't know to this day what happened. Did Mr. Fain not hear the warning? Did he hear the warning and not do anything? Or maybe he didn't have transportation. And let me just say this, don't you dare be condescending to anybody that's low income, that lives in a trailer. I was a low income child. My father walked away when I was 7. He didn't pay 1 cent of child support. Me and my mom were broke and had nothing. And I hear so many of these blow dried boobs that get on TV or YouTube or whatever, and they're condescending to low income families, people that can't afford a really nice place. And that's ridiculous. And again, if you're like that, you can't work for me. I'm sorry. Check out this TDS. That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. This came through a small town called Plantersville. And I would assume that most of you have never heard of that. Most people that live here have never heard of Plantersville. I have. I've been to the school. The school is J.E. Terry Elementary School. These are precious people down here. And again, we had loss of life. And in this case, the loss of life involved trailers. But real quick, this is some of our challenges that we're working on is we got to reduce the false alarm ratio. And let me just say this, we've got a real warning addiction problem in this country. The false alarm ratio in some Weather Service offices is 0.85 to zero point 0.9, which means 85 to 90% of all tornado warnings are false alarms. Are you kidding me? We're better than that. That's ridiculous. And so you got the Weather Service offices, some, not all, some, with this high false alarm ratio. And then you've got the nitwits on social media, and there's some very responsible people there, but I'm talking these rogue people that they're constantly forecasting doom, gloom, death, destruction. There's always going to be a tornado 2 weeks in advance, always going to be a hurricane, always going to be a blizzard, and this nonsense. They're engagement farms. But in the professional weather enterprise, we have to cut through that and cut that false alarm ratio and stop these nonsensical warnings where you don't need a warning. There's a very strict definition here for a severe thunderstorm. And again, we have to be better for those that live in mobile homes, and we have to reinvent the communication process, which is what I've been talking about here. One more thing, and I'll be done. I want to go back to a tornado March 25th, 2021. This is me driving home. The next day, I couldn't get through that night. This one hit our house. Tornadoes happen to real people at a real place at a real time. And don't you dare celebrate the fact that a tornado got down and hit somebody's house. I've seen nitwits do this. Not everybody, but I've seen people do that. The suffering, it's immense. You don't understand it. You don't, and you cannot understand it until it happens to you. And we are so fortunate that we had no loss of life. This was an EF3. This was an upper end EF3. And it was terrifying. But the one thing I'll never forget are the people that came to help us the next day. I don't even know half these people. I don't know where they came from, but they had food. They had heavy equipment to start to get trees off the house and restore some order. And these precious people, I will never forget their kindness. But again, so real quick, a few little points, and I'll stop, do some questions if you want to. Don't get discouraged. Listen, if you want to work for the National Weather Service, don't get discouraged, okay? I know we've had some challenges. The government shutdown in the United States has ended. One of my closest friends, Neil Jacobs, Dr. Neil Jacobs, is the new administrator of NOAA. And he is the most brilliant numerical weather prediction expert in the country. You want to know about computer models? Spend about 30 minutes with Neil. You'll learn more in 30 minutes than you've learned in your whole career, probably, in college. But Neil is going to come in and get the Weather Service back on track with the right staffing and the right culture. Ken Graham, the director of the National Weather Service, is a very close friend of mine. And I'm very excited. So if you want to go that route in this country and work for the Weather Service, you're going to be fine. Don't get discouraged. And if you want to do what I've done, if you want to be a weather communicator, Your opportunities are endless. What you will have before you is so much better than what I had during my 47 years. And again, trust me, there's a lot of us that are going to reinvent the wheel before we drop dead. And that's the way it's going to be. I'm just going to drop dead one day. I'm never going to retire. But until that day I drop dead, I want to reinvent this model. It's ridiculous. Some college graduates are making minimum wage, working at a television station in meteorology. 4 years of college, you could make more money at McDonald's. We want to pay you what you're worth, a good salary to support a family, to where you can settle down and establish roots and really help people. And I just think the model it's there, and I think we've figured it out. We've only been in operation since August, and we've not had any weather. The weather, we've stopped having active weather the minute we went on the air, which is fine. We needed the time to get our act together, I guess. But it will be. I encourage you just to watch next time we have a tornado event here, the Alabama Weather Network, and watch what we do and how we handle things. It's going to be a hybrid of Ryan Hall, Max Velocity, and what I've done. And I think we've got it right. We're always going to tweak it, but I don't want anybody that's wants to do this, whether it's going down through the private sector, working in broadcast or whatever, or work for the government in the United States. I can't speak for Canada, but I think your future is bright. But these are the three things I will look for, and I'm stopping here. I'm done. I told you guys hard work. That's number one. You've got to be able to work hard. You've got to be willing to work hard. There's no excuse for hard work. Lazy people, no. Number two, you've got to do it with integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking, and that can be hard. That's a big deal to me. It's a big deal. But the main thing is this: you've got to do it with a servant's heart. You have to look out after the needs of the people you serve before your own needs. I'll tell you one of my secrets. If you come in an interview with me, before you come into my office, I'm going to eat a Rice Krispie treat. You probably don't even know what that is, but it comes in this obnoxious purple wrapper. And I'm going to throw that wrapper on the floor, and I'm going to eat the Rice Krispie treat. You come in the office, I want to see if you're willing to pick up that trash and put it in the trash can. It will be right by a trash can. And that's not how you get the job, but it kind of states the condition of your heart. So, again, hard work, loving what you do. You can't wait to come to work. No negativity, no negative Nellies that are constantly whining and moaning and griping. We've all got problems. And if there's an issue, we'll deal with it. But no chronic negativity. You're positive. You can't wait to come to work every day, and you're going to work harder than anybody else. Integrity and with that servant's heart, and you'll be wildly successful. There's not that many people like that left. There's just not. I'm having a hard time finding people to match those three characteristics. Watch your social media stuff. What you posted in high school, what you're posting right now, it doesn't go away. It's going to be there forever. And just be careful and try and learn weather communication now. That's the one cool thing about it. If you got a phone, you're a broadcaster. Everybody on this show here is a broadcaster. And I don't care if nobody watches or listens, if it's just you or your mom or something, that's fine. But learn to do that. There's no barrier to entry. So just be aware that you're in great shape, and I'm very excited about the future. All right, anybody got any questions? I'm sorry, I talked way too long here. This was a totally disjointed conversation here.
No, that was fantastic. Thank you, James. That was great. I'm sure we have tons of questions. I know there's a couple in the chat too. I don't know if
Oh boy, the chat. um,
I can read them out if you want to for you or
let's see what we got here. So what about candidates who don't use Facebook, Instagram in the first place for fear our posts could be mischaracterized? Well, here's the thing: if you are not on social media, that's a strike against you because to reach people, that's where they are. You might hate it with a passion. You might hate it, but that's where people are. And I'm on every platform from Blue Sky to X to the Talk. I'm not a talk dancer. I don't, I'm not one of these cusser dancer funny guys, but to reach an 18, 19, 20-year old, I've got to be on TikTok. And you've got to live in that world to communicate weather information, not on a daily basis in your personal life, but when it comes to communicating weather, you have to be over there. So if you're not on social media, that's almost creepy. That would be a strike against you. Um, so the landmark stuff, the direction. Listen, We handed out maps at a professional baseball game and asked people to put a dot within 50 miles of their house. 4% could do that. 4% could do that. People cannot understand maps. They don't understand directions. And I'm not faulting them. I'm not. They have turn by turn directions on their phone, which is great. It's technology. But they've lost their map skills. So by, talking about we've got a major tornado outbreak west of Alabama, most people don't even know what that means. I know it's embarrassing, but they don't. You've got to be very specific and call out towns they understand, like Memphis and Little Rock and Shreveport. They've heard of these places and they pretty much know where those places are. And when you've got an event that's actually unfolding, again, this stuff, we've got a tornado down 14 miles southwest of Greensboro. Nobody knows where that is. You better, what you need to, when you go to work, listen, when you go to work in a market, whether it's for the weather service or a broadcaster, if you're a YouTuber, whatever, get in your stinking car and drive. Even if you are new and you don't have any school programs, you don't have any talks, I don't care. Instead of taking your little nap, you're going to drive and you're going to look at people and you're going to stop in little retailers and talk with them. Down here, I stop in Dollar Generals. You guys have no idea what a Dollar General is, but that's where real people hang out here. They will tell you things. Listen to them. Don't be offended by them. Listen to them. Those are the people we serve. And just get in your car and drive. That's critical. Um, uh, Schools. I worry about school visits, the possibility that something I say could be taken out of context and mischaracterized. I used to be a teacher. Uh, well, when I go into a school, um, and my preference, let me just say this, my preference is third grade. That's gold. If you want to teach, you teach third grade. They understand sarcasm. They think you're funny. They have the cognitive skill to learn middle school level science. They're still sweet. They don't smell bad yet. They don't have hormone problems. Third grade, it's magical. They can soak up the science. But I'll get in there and I'll show them current maps. I'll show them a 500 millibar chart and tell them what this is, what it means, and how it helps me. I'll show them a surface chart, talk about the importance of numbers and math because that's what I did when I was in school. I'll show them an up air balloon launch. This is cool, guys. We get to play with balloons. We get to fill the balloon with hydrogen. It's flammable. How awesome is this? And talk about radio signs. And from there, we'll get into, convection. Of course, the sexy stuff, it's always tornadoes and hurricanes, which you kind of wrap up with. But I am a ball of energy. I was in Thorsby, Alabama today. I had K through third grade in that auditorium. It was a ton of fun, and those kids were energized by that. You bring them up, bring some up on stage. You do some interactive things with them. But I'm telling you, it's just critical. Fear not. Do not fear school visits, but don't be boring. Being boring in a school visit should be illegal. Um, all right.
Adding on to
I
that,
get.
James, do you do like other levels too? Like, do you go to high schools as well as like
I,
universities or mostly elementary schools?
I do again. I do lectures at. I finished at Mississippi State University, and I do. I will go with Kevin Laws. Kevin is the Science Operations Officer of the National Weather Service in Birmingham, the Sioux. Kevin and I have been going together speaking at Mississippi State every semester for years. It's just a tradition. And I'd love to encourage college students. And again, if you hear anything I say tonight, please hear this. I love your generation. Don't you dare let some old fart my age talk bad about your generation. I love your work ethic. I love your passion. I love your quest for knowledge. And I think you're going to unlock mysteries that we could not unlock. It's outstanding. Um, High school kids, that's not really my jam. I spoke to a high school group the other day. There was a girl watching a movie on her watch with a thing in her ear. And I'm thinking, hello, hello. I don't have that problem with third graders, but no, it's the school thing. It's important. My first school opening is in 2027, late 2027. That's how I just take them as they come in. And some days I'll do 3 schools a day. And some days I'll drive 4 hours to a school and drive 4 hours back. That's my limit is 4 hours. But those 4 hours on the road, I soak it up. I look at these places because when I'm on the air during tornado coverage, I can call out There's a Waffle House over here. I know they know where that Waffle House is. And I'll try and take roads that I haven't traveled in years just to refresh my memories. So it's important. Um, yeah, a lot of people do hands-on stuff, which is cool. I mean, the old tornado, with the two big 2 liter soft drink things, where you get them spinning in there. I don't do as much as that as probably I should. Most of the stuff, most of what I use is video. It's a video generation. They want video. They want constant change, and they want the real TikTok type thing where it's up there for less than 30 seconds. You go into the next video, and I think I've got enough fast-paced video of that style to where it keeps their attention. It's and you have to be a ball of energy. Again, you cannot go in there. If they think you're bored, you've lost them. If you're excited, if you have a passion for what you're talking about, they will latch onto that. And if your video elements are correct, they will really hang in there with you. And I shoot video. I'll have a kid come up there and give my phone, and they shoot video. We call it the Kid Cam, and it's monetized. The my old school television station. What's so weird? I still work for an old school television station and my new network. And we had to come to an agreement on who gets to monetize what. The old school TV station monetizes the Kid Cam, and I think it's about a $250,000 a year deal. That's how valuable this stuff is. I don't get a dime of it, but that's the reason they pay me. It's for me to make them money. And there's nothing wrong with monetizing a Kid Cam. In fact, it's sponsored by Children's of Alabama, which is the large children's hospital here, and that's a win-win relationship for everybody. So, yeah, the school thing, it's a big deal. All right, real quick, because it's top of the hour here. We got a break. I sometimes do presentations contrasting fictional weather with real weather. Would it be organized by weather concept or a TV show? I'm not a fiction guy. I've done a couple of books. I wrote a book about April 27, 2011. Most of you aren't probably aware of what happened on that day. We had 62 tornadoes in my state on that day. This was a super outbreak. And I, I'm not a writer. And again, I regret that I'm not a writer, but I just had to do that because I just knew that I was supposed to do that. It's not fiction, it's real. And I won't be, I'm in the fourth quarter of life. I'm not in the 2 minute warning, but I'm in the fourth quarter. But I lived that day, I worked that day, and most people around the country have no idea that it happened. If you were to ask people where tornadoes happen in the United States, 99 out of 100, what state do you think they would say? What state do you think they would say? Where do tornadoes happen in the United States? It starts with an O.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
And the truth is, we have more strong, violent tornadoes per square mile than they do, and it's not even close. But our tornadoes aren't sexy. Ours are rain wrapped. They happen at night, not during the day. You can't see them. And again, I don't. It's a bad contest to get into, is who's got more tornadoes. But I do want the world to know what happened here. 252 people died on my watch in one day. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable for anybody. Imagine you're working, and in your market, 252 people are killed because of weather. When you knew the warnings were so stinking good. And what we learned that day was this: we don't know anything about social science, nothing. My first major in college was electrical engineering, and I finished in meteorology. I didn't take a single class in human behavior. I know nothing about it. We're asking people to radically modify their behavior to save their life. And so we've learned that we've got to integrate social science into physical science, have an interdisciplinary approach to be successful. And I'd like to think since 2011, we're much better at it. But guys, I know we're late. I got to go, top of the hour here. But thank you guys. I'm so sorry for talking long. This was a boring talk. Sorry.
No, it
I'll
was
be more.
fantastic. I think everybody
I'll be.
enjoyed it.
I'll be more organized next time. But again, check out if you want to see an example of the future, and if you want to communicate weather, just look at Alabama Weather Network and see what we're doing. It's an interesting case study, and I think it's the future. And we might hire one of you guys one day. All right.
Where can we
Well,
find you, James? What are some of your
uh,
socials?
just the Alabama Weather Network. They got apps for TVs and everything, and website alabamaweathernetwork.com. On the X, I'm just Spann, my last name. I have two N's. Yeah, just You can see what I do. And again, don't study my social media. You're welcome to look at it, of course, but I don't know anything about it. I think I've learned what I need to do to be successful with the people that follow me. Yeah, it's just search James Spann. You'll find me. But thank you guys. I'm sorry to talk so long. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, everybody.